They say you can't plan joy, so I made a 3-step list. Consider this my very scientific attempt. This summer, I'm defeating summertime sadness. And by the end, I'll know if I won. Summertime Sadness. I guarantee it's not a myth or just a self-deprecating song by Lana Del Rey. It is this hollow feeling that happens to be accompanied by excruciatingly hot weather. It's a fog that rolls in with the heat. Subtle, annoying, hard to name. It's not tragic, it's just the slow suspicion that life is happening somewhere else and you forgot to get on the bus. I think it's been like this since I was a kid. Summer would arrive, everyone would get excited. I just fade a little, as if summer was happening to someone else. No, it's actually not the best way to spend your precious summers in this very short life. I thought I had cured this in the past couple of years, but this year I can feel it creeping back in, like life is moving past me. Still, I don't want to let it ruin my whole summer, so this time I actually have a plan. Simple, realistic, kind of exciting. And it's going to work. I decided it will be a 3-stage adventure. So it is like a task list, yes, but it is also like a journey to find joy in the season. Big or small victories, all welcome. My goal is to enjoy the whole process. The first task is about my birthday. I know that sounds unrelated, but I blame it for at least half my summer issues. I've never been the "this is my big day, come celebrate me" type of girl. So instead of a big celebration, mine usually comes with loneliness, a touch of melancholy, and a bit of an existential crisis. So this brings us to my first starting point. This year, for a change, I decided to have a grateful birthday. Birthday depression. I think I know the root of this feeling. In my childhood, birthdays always felt like a day to please others. When a party was organized, it was for a crowd I didn't feel at ease in. And celebrating my own existence shouldn't feel like that. So as I grew older, I quit celebrating altogether because I misunderstood something important. That you can actually choose what to do with your special days. Or even with life in general. It took me years to realize it's okay to celebrate my birthday the way I want. To feel joy in a way that feels like mine. I've never been someone drawn to crowds that feel meaningless. And I don't know why exactly, but I've always found birthdays to be oddly vulnerable. Maybe because it feels like a day where everyone's inner child quietly steps forward. And that should only be witnessed by the ones who truly see you. But maybe that's just me. So this year, I'm going to celebrate it on my own. Not out of loneliness, but because I want to make it special for myself. I'm not exactly sure what I'll do yet, but we'll figure it out tomorrow. Hello there! Thank you so much for joining me for my solo birthday party. Well, technically it's not my birthday today. I already kind of celebrated it with friends and family because there were a couple of surprises which I'm so grateful for. But as I mentioned earlier, I also want this to be a special event for myself.
myself. Yesterday we baked a cake, a very small and humble cake. Every minute of it was so joyful. I loved making it. I just wish that I could say the cake looks great right now, but that's far from the truth. I don't know, it kind of changed form in the fridge. I'm sure it tastes good. I hope it tastes good. And I want this year's cake to be pink and green. Definitely not inspired by Harry Potter, who was also born in summer. No. So, today's plans. I want to go outside. I want to have a date with myself. Maybe we could just have a lunch, a special kind of lunch. A special lunch, I don't know. Grab an iced coffee, do some people watching, pick myself a birthday present. I haven't done that. Pick some fresh flowers, if there is any, and just that kind of things.
Water has always been a cure for me, like it was for melancholic women in 19th century novels. They would send them to the coast to recover their nerves, to rest beside something vast and alive. Because the sea asks nothing, and in return it gives you time to unravel, to soften, to begin again. And honestly, I get it now. I decided to follow in their footsteps, but with better coffee and Wi-Fi. A Woman and the Sea. It's a tale as old as ink and paper. Especially if the water comes with a stone house and the view. My perfectly scientific second task to cure summer sadness? When in doubt, go to the sea. Or at least far enough to pretend your problems cannot swim.
daha bak, bir daha bak. Devam.
Düşünüyorum şu an çekim yapıyorum. Evet biraz da benim. Bak ağaçlar.
Remember when I said I wanted to spend my birthday alone? I did need that. But I also needed this vacation. Something full of love, connection, and friendship. Because you can ask for both. Because the truth is, it doesn't have to be either or. We are allowed to need both. The stillness of being alone and the fullness of being with others. We all need solitude and reflection. Some of us might need it more than others. But we also need those radiant, grounding moments with the people we love. The ones that are equal parts laughter, conversation, and the making of new memories. We found this ethereal stone house tucked away by the sea and drove south for nearly 8 hours to get there. I've never seen water so clear. It looked like the sky had melted and settled into the earth. Getting close to water again might have healed a fragment of my soul. I forget sometimes just how deeply water understands me. I was the child who stayed in the water too long, pruny fingers, sunburned shoulders, hoping the world would forget to call me back. I suppose I need to remember this at every turn of the sun, to honor that part of me. The one that still knows how to feel joy like a child in summer. I was shy at first to walk around and record with my camera. I was afraid of disturbing my loved ones, but they were so gracious in letting me keep these memories forever. I wasn't able to get everyone's consent, so some moments will have to live only in my mind, and that's okay.
So we came back from our vacation and I spent such great time with my friends, my boyfriend, and our dog, Leah. The highlight of the trip was definitely the day we rented a boat
I saw the most gorgeous Mediterranean scenes. It was so beautiful. I never wanted this to be over, but it is over. Anyway, and now back home, the season is changing and summer is almost gone, and it's actually a very chilly day today. But I have one last summer plan, to build something with my hands. I am a 3D designer and I designed a tiny Bridgerton-inspired flower shop that feels like spring and summer. Imagine strolling with Eloise and Penelope down a Regency Street on a sunny day and stopping to pick pink roses under a striped canopy. Yes, I even 3D printed a striped canopy. So, before summer slips away, let's finish it with something made by hand. Because sometimes the gentlest things like tiny flower pots and careful brush strokes are what stay with us. And maybe it will be the memory that makes this whole summer feel actually kind of nice. Looking back, I don't think summer sadness ever really goes away. But this year, it felt easier. Because I met it with small joys and projects I'll carry into autumn. A cake baked for me, a trip to the sea with people I love, and this little flower shop made with my hands. The flower shop feels like a souvenir of the season, proof that even summers that begin heavy can end in bloom. Maybe joy isn't about defeating sadness at all. Maybe it's about letting both exist, while still choosing to paint something bright. And in the end, that feels like the truest lesson of this summer. That joy isn't something that just happens. You can choose it, shape it, create it. So here it is, my summer. Bottled into a flower shop. A reminder that even in the quietest days, you can still make something worth remembering.